Yeah, so it's Thursday, September 21, and we're in Knoxville, Tennessee, actually. But leaving today, driving down to Augusta, Georgia, for my race, Ironman 70.3 Augusta. So it's been a long time since my previous vlog. I feel like I just haven't had time or inspiration really to vlog about anything. There's been a lot of highs and lows, a lot of lows actually, than high compared to highs, during the past like 5 or 6 weeks. So basically, I've just had a lot of struggle, and that's why I didn't decide about going to Augusta until yesterday. Like literally yesterday morning, I was still like, I'm not sure if I want to go or if I should go. But then I just, kind of realized that I'm just being silly if I don't go, because, there's been times where I really wanted to go, but I couldn't because I was injured. And now, like, the reasons why I didn't want to go this time are that I just don't feel like I'm in a shape, my fitness is not as good as it was in July, and early August. The reasons why I'm not as fit as I was earlier this summer are really something that were not in my hands. Like, I was sick after my race at the end of July until like literally mid-August almost. Then I did the Olympic distance race in Virmäki, and after that I had a little niggle, a little running, I wouldn't say injury, but some sensations that I was worried about because it was in the same leg as my previous two injuries. So I want to make sure that I don't do anything stupid and it doesn't like blow up again. So then after kind of taking time off, running a little bit, taking more time off, running a little bit, I decided that I need to take actually time off. So I took 4 days off completely from training, and I kind of timed it during the time of the World Championships in Lahti. So we just literally went there, we're like tourists all weekend, just watching the races, cheering on our friends and people we know. Hey! Who are we cheering for? Christian. Which is really fun. Also, like, in a weird way, sad because I wanted to be there, but then obviously I didn't qualify this time, so it was kind of weird. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a better sport and like go there and support like my friends and like people I know, instead of just be like miserable all weekend, hide and not like participate in the event. So we ended up going. It was a lot of fun. It gave me a lot of motivation as well as like frustration that I wasn't there. But after the 4 days, I kind of like, started getting back to normal training, slowly but surely, building back. Started running again. Running felt fine, no sensations anymore. But then we traveled to the US, and Robert and I both got really sick. I was like, okay, my season is done. Like, I've had 2 sicknesses within a 5-week period. I've had a little running break, a little overall break of training, and I just don't feel like I've got any consistency. Like, I haven't had any consistency in training since July. So I was like, I'm not mentally or physically where I want to be before a race. I was pretty sick last week, and I wasn't very encouraged. I also struggled with the heat and humidity here a lot. Like, it was actually like harder than I thought, and I think the sickness didn't make it any easier. But then like I started getting better last weekend, and I decided that I'm going to do my training kind of like at the beginning of the week, just to like see if I can like get a couple good sessions in, see how I feel, and then basically after that make the decision about Augusta. And yeah, so I'm not injured, I'm healthy, or like I still have a little bit like mucus, or like not like that I feel 100%, but I'd say like I feel 98% healthy. So I don't really think that my reason of like, oh, I'm embarrassed if I don't perform as well as I think I could have if I had been healthy and able to train, I don't think that's a valid reason to skip the race. I feel like there's still so much I can gain from the experience of racing and like learning, and I haven't had enough races this year to like say like, okay, I'm like totally you know, I've totally mastered the professional racing. So I feel like going to a pro race, getting the experience, seeing kind of like how it goes, and like not really like expecting much, but like still like doing my best. I think it's still a good way to end the season, and like it's important like to get these experiences. So I feel like not going because I'm like trying to protect my ego, I don't think that's a good reason to skip it. So we're going, we'll see how it goes. Other than that, I think everything has been fine. Like we are back in the States, having a great time, meeting some friends, doing our favorite things in Knoxville. This is where we both did our master's degrees, and where we met and got engaged and all that fun stuff. So it's kind of fun to go to our places and like with all the memories and everything. So yeah, but so basically now I'm at the YMCA parking lot getting ready for a little shakeout swim before we drive to Augusta, and I'm excited. I think the hardest thing was like making the decision of going, because it's been like really hard and heavy on me like all week of like, am I going or not going, and how am I feeling or not feeling, and I think now that I have made the decision, it's like mentally easier to be like, okay, I'm going, this is how I feel, and we'll see how it happens. But yeah, I think that's kind of what's been up, and it's going to be an experience again, and we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the downstream swim, because the less I have to swim, the better. Okay, so it's Thursday, September 28th, and I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. Just finished a nice trail run. It's my off season now, so I'm enjoying some fun gravel riding and trail running, and just kind of a break from the typical schedule. I definitely am not really going to swim much, just a little bit to maintain the feel for water, but generally just thinking about just doing fun activities outside. I'm not taking like a total break from activities because I generally enjoy being outside and exercising. So I'm just doing things that I feel good about and that I want to do each day. I had such a fun and inspiring background, but now I have to move because some other people want to see the view, and I feel like I didn't want to be standing there and just talking to the camera in front of all these people. I was surprised that I actually like was not as nervous as I think I usually am. I slept 7 hours. My breakfast was okay. Like kind of like my stomach was fine. I did my warm-ups. Funny enough, the day before the race, I heard that there is a possibility that it is a wetsuitless swim, and I don't have a swim skin, or I didn't have a swim skin. So I panicked and I had to spend a lot of money at the expo because I had to buy a new swim skin, which was a big bummer because I felt like I had already kind of blown up my budget this summer. But I got a swim skin. Then at the pro briefing they said that it is possible that the water temperature drops still, so that it would be wetsuit legal swim. So bring both, they said. So I brought both in the morning, and they told us that the water temperature is 73, so it is a wetsuit illegal swim. So I guess that worked out well. So I had already acquired my new swim skin. I got a pretty good start, and I was able to swim in a small group for a majority of the swim. I felt a little mentally checked out at the end. It still felt kind of long, and I don't think the current assistant was as much as I was hoping for. I came out of the water like somewhere between 7th and 9th place. I think originally 9th, but I think a couple people dropped out, so my swim time was after all the 7th fastest of the day. All my stuff was like soaking wet from the humidity when I got to T1. First of all, the run to T1 was like extremely long, so I chapped my feet, and like it was just like so long, but I felt like it helped me to like kind of clear up my head and feel less dizzy at the actual transition. My visor was totally foggy, so I couldn't see anything, so I was just kind of like pulling my helmet back and just trying to like look under the visor before I was able to wipe it off. I passed a woman kind of pretty soon out of the transition, and then there was like another woman in front of me that I kind of like got close to at one point, and I passed her, and then she passed me back, and we kind of like played this little game for a little bit until the fastest male age group athletes passed us as like a train, and it was pretty petty, to be honest. They just kind of stopped in front of us, and I didn't really know what to do. It was kind of strange. I had to like pass them again because they were just like, they literally just slowed down in front of us, and it was just kind of this like back and forth like passes, and they would like petty pass me back until I just kind of decided that like I'm gonna try to like ride kind of with them but stay within the legal limit, which was sometimes pretty difficult, but it was just like very frustrating. I rode pretty well. I rode actually kind of like smart and hard. For the first time I didn't really care about the watts. I was just kind of like trying to go fast in the downhills, then go harder in the uphills, just kind of like see what the road was like and what was like a smart tactical move. And I got to transition. I think I was like 7th place or so, 6th or 7th place. Actually, to my surprise, I learned later that my bike time was the 3rd fastest of the day, so I was actually surprised about that, and I was the most happy about that performance. But I started to run, and I realized like immediately when I was like running off the transition that I just don't have the legs today, and it was going to be a long and painful run. And I just like felt pretty soon that I just wanted to drop out. And the entire run was just like a death march. I literally just like was thinking all the time, like, where could I drop out? When can I walk? Like, what's like a good excuse to stop moving? And there was this like long out and back section, and that was like being there kind of like very far away from everything was the only reason why I decided like not to drop out, because walking back from there would have taken me at least an hour. So I realized that, okay, if I make it back running, I have like 5 kilometers left, and if I have 5 kilometers left, I'm going to make it. Like, I'm just going to make it somehow. I don't know how, but like 5 kilometers is not as much as like walking like from the very bottom of the course in the heat. I think what saved me honestly was the multiple aid stations that were on the course, and I have to say that I'm like super thankful for all the volunteers who were so good at handing the cups and just like giving you whatever you needed. I just think that really made the race and made it so much more enjoyable, even though I was in a lot of pain. But yeah, like I felt like my running form was just not holding together. I was just shuffling and running so much lower than my normal, and I just decided not to care anymore, just move forward. When I made it to the about 5k to go, I realized that I was catching up to the woman who was holding 6th place, and that kind of motivated me at the end, and I ended up finishing 6th place, literally so spent, so tired, and I could not believe it that I finished 6th place, because I had no expectations for the race. That was my first time in an Ironman race where I finished top 10. So I feel like even without all the setbacks and issues that I had leading up to this race, I would have been super excited about my 6th place finish. So I felt like maybe I could have done a little bit better had I been completely healthy and able to maintain good running and swimming volume leading up to the race. But still, like, I was super proud of the 6th place finish, and I feel like it was just a nice way to finish the season with a good performance and something like positive. Huge congrats to Paula for winning. She's just so inspiring. I'm very grateful for the opportunity this year that I've got to know her and like talk to her and like learn from her. It's been great to be a part of the TTL Devo team, and it's just exciting, and I really hope that that program continues to grow and help more and more athletes. So thank you so much, Paul and Eric. Also congrats to the other podium finishers and everyone who participated and made it. It was a very tough day. So many people out there on the course and like grinding it and finishing and like all that. It was just amazing. I think it's just a special sport, and I feel like everyone who's out there doing it just deserves kudos. But yeah, now I'm like sorta in a weird state of being like excited to have an off season, but also kind of like, oh, like that was kind of fun even though it was terrible. But like, you know, when you do well and you're happy with your performance, you're just kind of like, ooh, like I want to do it again. But I don't think I will race another triathlon this year. I'm happy to take some time off and start building my fitness, and hopefully have a very good and successful off season and winter training, and come back next year stronger for my 2nd year as a professional athlete. So my first year, it's been a roller coaster ride of a season, highs and lows, but I think definitely ending it on a high note. So thanks so much for watching, and see you the next time.